Hi, and welcome to this edition of Desert Vision. I'm Staff Sergeant Jaime Hernandez. Coming up on this edition, we will be rolling up the first 12 months of the Combined Joint Task Force Operation Inherent Resolve, as U.S. Army Central hands the reins over to 3rd Corps, and Lieutenant General James Terry reflects on the importance of a military tradition. USARCENT has handed over the reins of CJTF OIR to 3rd Corps, and Lieutenant General James Terry has passed the colors on to Lieutenant General Sean McFarland. Army Staff Sergeant Frank Brown takes us to the ceremony.
September 19th marked the transfer of authority of Combined Joint Task Force Operation Inherent Resolve's mission from U.S. Army Central to 3rd Corps.
Passing of colors is traditional and symbolic among our militaries. This simple ceremony represents a change in leadership, yet the continuity of our effort is represented by the colors that are present here today.
We've got a lot of work to do and a long road ahead of us. But everyone on this team should feel very, very proud of what you have accomplished thus far.
Since its formation, the CJTF, a coalition of 60 nations led by Lieutenant General Terry and USARCENT, has trained thousands of Iraqi security forces and conducted airstrikes in the effort to eliminate the terrorist threat known as Daesh. Now the torch is passed to 3rd Corps, led by Lieutenant General Sean McFarland.
To those who say that Iraq is hopeless, that the Middle East is a Gordian knot that can never be untangled, I say you're wrong. Defeating Daesh and improving stability in the region are difficult tasks, but not beyond the scope of human capability.
From Combined Joint Task Force Operation Inherent Resolve, I'm Army Sergeant Frank Brown.
CJTF OIR officially stood up in October of 2014. In that time, they trained over 10,000 Iraqi soldiers, filling up more than 4 battalions. Operation Inherent Resolve conducted numerous airstrikes and dropped several tons of ordnance on target. These airstrikes destroyed or severely damaged over 3,000 enemy-occupied buildings, 2,500 fighting positions, and nearly 4,000 other types of enemy targets, preventing Islamic State from free movement in roughly 30% of populated areas. One of the aspects of the USARCENT role in Operation Inherent Resolve is training the Iraqi military. Over the last 12 months, one of the most storied units in the United States Army has been busy training on small but crucial elements of combat.
Hey, throw the grenade in the bunker. No more shooting. Okay.
Roll. Soldiers of the 82nd Airborne Division are keeping busy at Camp Taji, Iraq, participating in building partner capacity, or BPC. The American soldiers trained the Iraqi soldiers of the 15th Division on infantry small unit tactics. The soldiers advised and assisted the Iraqis on reflexive fire, reacting to an ambush and room-clearing drills. The Iraqis also trained on vehicles. They learned how to react to an IED and vehicle recovery. These basic skills will be vital for the Iraqi army in defeating ISIL, also known as Daesh. Shifting our focus from Iraq to Afghanistan, the crewmen of a 777 cannon get some training and remind the Taliban that we're still there.
For the artillery crew members at Operational Base Fenty, speed and precision are qualities that have earned them an important role in force protection.
So I was able to basically handpick my guys. So I've got pretty much the best of the best from my battalion.
When you're here and you're shooting, you're presenting a huge threat and a huge deterrence for the
Task
enemy.
Force War Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Jason Curl, understands the value of the M777 Alpha II howitzer as a counterfire weapon against enemy forces.
As they're planning an attack, as they're planning a rocket attack on OB Fenty, and they're setting up, they know that we have the ability to shoot it right back at them.
172317 quadrant 728.
We still have the right and the responsibility to defend and protect everyone that lives here on OB Fenty, as well as all of the advisor missions that come from here. So having this capability, even in a non-combat mission, is a great asset.
From Afghanistan, Captain Charlie Emmons, TAC East Public Affairs.
On occasion, some people have a tendency to forget that it's not only the American military leading the fight against Daesh. Army Staff Sergeant Frank Brown gives us a closer look at the Canadian effort in the war against Islamic State.
The personnel deployed on Op Impact are drawn from across the Canadian Armed Forces and the Department of National Defence. This mission employs a total force concept, which incorporates a mix of regular forces, reserve forces, and civilian personnel possessing the necessary capabilities and the skill sets to ensure mission success. Well, as part of an international coalition of like-minded countries, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, France, other NATO allies, and regional partners, our brave men and women of the Canadian Armed Forces are providing critical support to the coalition effort. We are well-trained, professional, and we contribute in a significant manner to the coalition's success in protecting Canadians, stopping the advance of ISIS, and countering the global terrorist threat. At the same time, we are conducting training, advising, and assisting Iraqi security forces so that they are able to regenerate their forces, counter ISIS, and ultimately provide for their own security.
Coming up after the break, coalition partners take part in honoring an ally's fallen.
U.S. Army Central Forward Engineering Directorate sets up the first of 250 solar light towers on Camp Arifjan. The solar lights will replace gas-powered light towers currently in use on the camp, and is part of a larger initiative to conserve energy in the USARCENT area of responsibility.
Listen. I have something I have to tell you. I know what you're going through. I know that it feels like the world is about to end right now. That everything just feels black, like you're suffocating and dying. But there's help. Come talk to someone. It's not okay. It's not okay to you. It wasn't okay to me. It's not okay ever. But I'm here now. And you're going to be okay too.
Americans celebrate Memorial Day in May. Australians and New Zealanders celebrate theirs in April, on the anniversary of a major defeat during World War I. Army Sergeant Bill Washburn has more.
2015 is the centennial anniversary of the landing at Gallipoli by the Australian-New Zealand Army Corps, also known as ANZAC. At a pre-dawn ceremony on the beach, deployed Aussies and New Zealanders, also known as Kiwis, along with Combined Joint Task Force, Operation Inherent Resolve coalition partners, took part in commemorating the service and sacrifice of the fallen Anzacs. On a windy and relatively cold morning on the shores of the Arabian Gulf, former enemies, now allies, honored their fallen. Anzac Day is similar to America's Memorial Day. It encompasses all Australian and New Zealand soldiers, airmen, and sailors who made the ultimate sacrifice. The day itself is the anniversary of the landing on Gallipoli by the Australian and New Zealand militaries to fight the Ottoman Empire during World War I. The landing on Gallipoli had been planned as a bold strike to knock the empire out of the war. However, the campaign turned into a stalemate and both sides suffered heavy casualties. Australia and New Zealand alone suffered over 10,000 casualties combined. During the memorial, several speakers gave a brief history on the battle, giving the point of view from their country. Ambassador of the Republic of Turkey, His Excellency Murat Temir, quoted Mustafa Kemal Ataturk's tribute to the lost. "Wipe away your tears. Your sons are now lying in our bosom and are at peace." Having lost their lives on this land, they have become our sons as well. A poignant reminder that even former enemies can eventually become friends.
One of CJTF's missions is building relationships with partner countries. Several Americans took on a team from our host country in a rough and tumble sport. Army Staff Sergeant Frank Brown shows us more.
We got together and we played the Kuwait City Scorpions in rugby.
It's amazing. There's no other feeling. I mean, with rugby in the military, military, there's camaraderie, and then there's rugby, which is more camaraderie. So it's great. It's a great feeling. Hard work. That's what it took to get us here.
And to my Eagles, this last 6 weeks training for this and getting coached up. Everyone put in 100%. I honestly didn't think I would be playing rugby out here. It just kind of happened. A guy named Captain Chris Miles was out here before me. He's the one who helped kind of start it, and then from there it just kind of took off.
Outstanding time, good environment, good weather, good camaraderie, and good friendship. We got some good new friends, and long-lasting memories that people can take back to their home states and talk about stuff they did in Arif John.
All right? Let your heart out on this pitch. Last 20 freaking minutes. Let's do it. All right? Eagles on 3. 1, 2, 3. Eagles!
That's going to do it for this episode of Desert Vision. For these stories and more, you can check out our Facebook page and YouTube channel. I'm Staff Sergeant Jaime Hernandez. Thanks for watching.